Give it up for Jackie. That was awesome. She didn't want to tell a story, so that's great. Yay! All right. I'm Bradley Avery, and my accent doesn't show it, but I did live in New Zealand for 20 years. I have the passport to show it, or prove it. And I like to take risks, like being up here in front of you. But I also know my limits, which you can tell by the size of the amount of people here. So with that said, my life has been a series of big bangs that have led to new chapters throughout my life. And like they've led to new careers, changing countries, new relationships, etc. And this story is about one of those bangs when I had just started I was fairly new to production, and I was living in Queenstown, New Zealand. So I'm at the rental car company, National Car in Queenstown. The owner was Charlie, and because everybody knew everybody then. And I'm filling out the paperwork. I'm in the production department. I'm picking up a car for production. And Charlie walks out, and he says, "I know where you're filming that commercial." And he said, "This is a brand new car you're taking, and you're not taking it to the top of Queenstown Hill." "Got it," I said. And I quickly exited the office, the office, and drove away. So I had a few errands to do. Had to pick up a box of film stock. This is showing my age. This is film stock. And then I go to the base of Queenstown Hill, where I'm awaiting one of the transport trucks to come down. Now, don't let the word hill fool you, because it's actually a mountain with a rugged four-wheel drive track that takes you to the top. And that's why we had these transport trucks taking people that couldn't drive up and didn't have four-wheel drive, etc. So I was going to hand over the goods to the transport truck. They were going to take it up to the camera department that was at the top, which is where they were filming the commercial. So I'm sitting there waiting for the truck to come down, thinking I've got a few minutes of quiet, when suddenly the door flies open and Rupert jumps in and shouts, "Take me to the top!" Now, Rupert is the perfect name for this gentleman. He's a large, loud American producer. And he is telling me I've got to take the car up. And I'm like, I can't. I have strict instructions that I cannot take this car to the top. He's like, "What do you mean? I'm paying for it. It's four-wheel drive. Let's go to the top." So I have this moment. I have Charlie in my head saying, "You cannot take that car up there." And I have Rupert outside of my head screaming, "Take me. Let's go. Drive." And I realize Rupert is actually the one that's paying me. So with that said, I engage the clutch, put it in gear, and off we go. So we have a great trip up to the top. We're bouncing along, no problems. There's four-wheel drive, etc. We start talking, we get to know each other, And we also connect on music. And UB40 comes on, and we both realize we like UB40. And on the way up, we've got beautiful views over the Wakatipu, Lake Wakatipu. The Remarkables are out here, etc. We make it to the top, and Rupert jumps out, does what he needs to do, and I see the camera department. So I drive over to where they are. I park because they're in the midst of stuff. They're loading cameras and getting the mags ready, etc., for the final shots of the day, because the sun's close to setting. So I'm sitting there, and UB40 is still playing, and a song comes on called "Rat in Me Kitchen." So if you're not familiar with that song, it goes, "There's a rat in me kitchen, what am I gonna do? There's a rat in me kitchen, what am I gonna do?" So I'm listening to that. Suddenly the camera department calls me over. I jump out, I grab the boxes, hand them to the camera department. So my job's done up here. I gotta get this car back down because it's not supposed to be up here. And then I look around. We're on the top of Queenstown Hill in the Wakatipu Valley, and it's beautiful. And this is why I got into film production. The sun's setting, it's the magic hour, and it's fantastic. And everything seems quiet and still. Everything except for my car. I hear a shout, "Bradley!" I turn around, and my car is rolling slowly towards the edge of the cliff. Oh, shit! I've got to get it. I can make it. The door's open. All I got to do is just jump in and hit the brakes. I'm running towards it. It's getting close to the edge of the cliff. And suddenly I hear the location manager shout, "Bradley, stop! Don't do it!" As I said previously, I know my limits. And I slide to a halt. But my car doesn't. And it keeps rolling slowly towards the precipice. And that's when I hear, "There's a rat in me kitchen, what I'm gonna do?" As the car slowly rolls off the cliff. Bang! There's a rat, bang! In me kitchen, bang! Bang, bang, bang. What am I gonna do? I turn around and the whole film crew, everybody's looking at me. And this is it. I'm gonna lose my job in this place that I love, and I don't know what I'm gonna do after that. And I'll get another minute. And and I'm flabbergasted. And suddenly I hear Rupert shout, "I never liked that fucking car anyway. Get back to work, everybody. We're losing the light." And just like that, the whole crew gets back to work, and somebody shouts, "Great job, Bradley." Film crew are like family. And Peter the Grip comes over to me and he goes, "Bradley, we've all made mistakes." I'm like, "Peter, you've dropped a car off a cliff?" And he goes, No. I've slept in a couple of times, but not a car." And so that could have been the end of my career, but quite the contrary. Actually, Charlie let me drive his rental cars again. I worked with Rupert again. And for a case of beer and a bottle of whiskey, the helicopter crew that was shooting Vertical Limit across the valley up at the Remarkables came over the next day and lifted the car out, off the side of Queenstown Hill and dropped it down into the paddocks below where it was taken to the records. There was nothing salvageable about that car. And shortly thereafter that, I actually opened my own production company, which I had for for 15 years in Queenstown. And I was very considerate when others made mistakes around me based on this experience. And I always made sure that all of the rental cars were very well insured. Bang. Thank you very much. And thanks for everybody coming tonight, too.